Hello YouTube and welcome back to Old Flads. You are looking at the first play from the current Ghost Recon Online. I've just recently had access to the beta and well, it's taken a bit of a bashing on the forums, surprisingly. First of all, I should probably get out of the way. This is not Future Soldier. This is an independent, separate thing that has been released for PC. My understanding is that it was released purely on the basis that Future Soldier wasn't going to be formatted for the PC. It was purely going to be a console thing. But there is now a release date in June the 15th, I believe. For the PC version, which is good news. I just hope the port has been successful because in the past there have been some pretty terrible ports over. I think Ghost Recon and the Tom Clancy series has suffered more than most in that aspect as well. I think the Call of Duties tend to sort of be as you'd expect. Few flaws here and there, but they are as you'd expect them to be. But this is a purely PC online based game. As you can see, it runs fairly smoothly as well. The mechanics. This is a a domination type game where one team starts at one end, runs forward, has to capture a flag, which takes a surprisingly long time. And then move forward and capture the other flags, and if you can do that, then you win. As you can see, as this was my very first game, in fact, so I was not struggling as such, but I was certainly the definition of noob, if you like. But the way it works, it seems to run very nicely. I mean, the customization is quite frankly massive, considering that this is a purely online game. You download the launcher and then you're in. It's a 1.5 gig download for the beta. Whether or not the full release, if there is indeed a full release, or whether they just keep patching this, may be bigger, but it seems to be at the moment. I've played on a couple of maps and it seems to run really well. I mean, I haven't noticed any major bugs, but I've only been playing it for half an hour, 40 minutes maybe in total. But as you can see from the guy in front of me, the covering system works really nicely. We've been playing Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, as you'd have seen in my previous videos, and the prone positioning, everything happens a bit slowly, but in here they seem to have smoothed it out. It happens a lot more fluidly. You get killed fairly quickly, as you can see there, but all in all, it seems to be very tight at the moment. This is a beta, I hasten to add, so there are going to be some slight issues here and there, but yeah, I mean, as I said earlier, it was getting beast bashings on the forums, and I can't understand why. I mean, it's not a replacement for Future Soldier. What it is a free-to-play squad-based. It is squad-based as well, and team play, as I'll explain in a bit, has a real big bearing on whether or not you're successful in these missions. From maybe looking at it from this point of view, it may seem a bit sluggish, may seem a bit slow. Certainly, and that's officially my first kill as well. In case anyone was wondering, it took me a while. There were a few deaths. KD wasn't exactly heart-poundingly fast. But yeah, it seems a bit sluggish, and that's due in part to my recording. I was recording only at about 30 frames per second. Outside of recording, it was done at a fairly modest 60 frames per second, which I mean, everyone's happy. I'm perfectly happy with that. That's what I've played. Played Battlefield at 60 frames. Played Call of Duty at 90. But the difference is. It's slightly noticeable, but marginal nonetheless. I'm sure a lot of the guys with high-end gaming rigs are going to be playing at several hundred frames per second. But whether it makes any difference, I don't know. As you've seen there, this is the covering animation, which most people will be familiar to from the Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six franchises. It works nicely. It's very easy. There are no awkward buttons. I know you can change key bindings on other games to suit your where your hands are. But being a left-handed person, I'm using the W, S, D, and A movement controls, to get into colour is simply a case of pressing spacebar, which is just your, well, it's my thumb, which is actually quite handy. And once in the covering position, the movement is fairly fluid. It's not like you're eking towards anywhere. As I die again, you're not eking towards anywhere. You feel like you're actually moving around the obstacle, and then as you come out of cover, you are very exposed. Which you should be. I mean, it's all well and good poking your head around the corner, but if you're gonna have a gun in your hand and you're gonna be shooting at people, you are going to leave yourself fully exposed. It snaps in and out nice and quickly though, which is nice, and it works up and down. If you are behind low cover, you can crouch down behind and come up as per all the other games where you'd expect crouching to be. And the accuracy is actually improved. You may notice once you go into a crouch position. I don't know whether I actually show it here, but once you go into a crouch position, you actually you gain certain attributes, whether it be recoil, aiming, accuracy, and so on. And that obviously helps towards your abilities to work in and around cover. Now, what I was saying was about the squad-based system. Now, if you were to look at this from a direct point of view, you'd think, oh, it's a Call of Duty. It's another standard run-of-the-mill FPS. However, if you'll notice now, I called for us to flank left, and although the game is about to end, it is about to end. You'll notice that once people are doing it, we become a far more effective fighting unit, and that's something that you don't really have in Call of Duty because there's so much running around. This is where this game is starting already to stand out a little bit more. You'll notice at the little red arrows moving around the little people. They're showing up enemies, which I believe is the Oracle perk, which is quite interesting. I obviously haven't unlocked it myself, but it's something to aim for. Anyway, so that was the first look at the Ghost Recon Online beta, and I'm going to be uploading some more in the near future, as I played a few games, recorded a few games, and even managed to win a game as well, which is quite a surprise. Anyway, thanks for listening. Cheers, bye bye.